Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? I hope wherever you are in the world that you are having a fabulous day. Welcome. So, I'm really shaky. I feel like I'm going to pass out. I'm really nervous. So, today is a very hard day. So, if you're tuning in live, which I hope you are, I would love the support. Um, if you're tuning in live, please say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. It would be awesome to see where you're coming in from. I do love to see people joining in from all over the globe. If you are watching the replay later on, just let me know that you were here and also say hello so I can go back through and say hello to you. And if we have not met before, my name is Crystal Ricassi, and I am a woman on a mission to help and inspire others to live longer, healthier, happier lives. I am truly all about living a gluten-free and chemical-free lifestyle, and I'm here to provide tips, tricks, and strategies to help people get on the other side of chronic health issues. I am also a certified holistic health and wellness coach, and I am really happy to be here and to help others. So, as you guys can tell, I'm really nervous. Hello, Anna. How are you, my dear, loving, beautiful sister? Thank you for being here with me. I really appreciate your support. Can you hear me okay, Anna? I just want to make sure that my microphone's working okay. So, for those of you who may or may not be aware, I am currently participating in a 14-day Facebook Live video challenge with Helen Martin. She is an amazing lady. She's one of my mentors along this business journey. And the purpose of doing a challenge like this is to conquer the fear of going live, to learn new technical skills and different things and features about live video, and to gain self-confidence, which I believe we all need, right? Because I don't really believe anybody is truly 100% confident within themselves. Anyway, so today happens to be day number 4 of the 14-day Facebook Live video challenge, and today we are asked to share something personal. Okay, so for those of you who've been on, who've watched my lives before in previous challenges, I will be sharing some things that you might already know. But there are some things at the end of this that you don't know yet. Okay, so I do hope that you stay tuned. Let's see. Thank you, Anna. I appreciate that, and I love you too very much. Ellie, hello, Ellie. How are you? Thank you so much for joining live. It's lovely to see you. So. Anyway, do stay tuned. I hope you stay tuned. I will mention that there is a trigger warning as my title because some of the things I'm about to share with you are very painful, and they're very difficult for other people to hear, including me. But I just wanted to put that up there so that everybody is pretty much prepared. Okay? So, here we go. Bear with me, guys. My heart's pounding fast. I can feel it just about ready to jump out of my chest. Okay, so I'm going to go through the motions as to the events that took place, and then I will explain more about what's coming. There's a method to this, so I'm just going to go through and I'm going to explain things that are very personal to me, that I really want to share. And I'm not going to go through all the details of how they happened or anything like that, but I'm just going to share them, okay? So just bear with me, please. Okay, so when I was 6 years old, I was molested, sexually molested, and yes, I do know the person who did that to me. When I was 30 years old, and again at 31 years old, I was raped. and I was raped 3 times in that time period between the age of 30 and 31. Okay. I've shared some of this stuff before, guys, so if I'm not breaking down and bawling my eyes out, it's just because I do have a little bit more experience with sharing personal stuff. And so don't think that it doesn't affect me. Obviously it does. It has my entire life. But I'm just trying to stay calm and take deep breaths. Okay. When I was 32 years old, I was drugged and I was held against my will and taken advantage of in brutal ways. And I ended up getting pregnant. Okay? Yeah, a lot of negative, heavy crap. Okay. I will add to this, which I didn't have in my notes. And if I am looking down, I do have notes, guys. Where's my camera? There it is. So I will add to this really quick that while I was younger, in my younger days, before I even reached teenage years, before I even turned 13, I did actually attempt suicide. Okay? I won't go into details about any of this stuff. This is just stuff that I'm sharing and how it affected me. Okay? So thank you, Anna. That means a lot to me. It really does. It's where I start to lose it, guys, but I'm trying real hard to keep calm. And thank you so much, Ellie. I appreciate that. It's hard. Recently, as you guys may or may not have seen, I have posted a little bit here and there that I took a 5-month break from Facebook and social media. That was not something that I was intending to take. I knew I needed to take a break, but I was not intending to take a 5-month break. But I needed it. And this is why I shared with you what I just shared, because during that time of my break, I had to deal with a lot of the stuff that I just shared with you. Okay? So I realized I needed to take a 5-month break. Well, not a 5-month break. I just keep saying 5 months because that's how long I was away from Facebook. I realized I needed to take a break when I became extremely overwhelmed with life. Okay? I'm a mother of 2 kids. My son is 12 years old, going to be 13 this year. Oh my God. And my daughter just turned 10. Love my kids dearly. They are my pride and joy in my heart. But it's hard being a parent. As you know, Anna, it's just hard. It's the hardest job ever. I was also physically and mentally spent. Okay, so I was not really feeling myself, like myself, rather. I was starting to get depressed. I was talking bad about myself. I was snappy with my children. My mood was just like a roller coaster. Any of this sound familiar? Any of you can relate to this? Let me know. It was awful. And I just knew that something had to give, and I needed to give myself the time that I needed and just take a break from it all and try to deal with it the best I could. Okay? So I needed to work on me. Plain flat out, I needed to work on me. I needed to deal with my most recent attack, which was the last personal thing that I shared with you where I was drugged and held against my will. I won't go into that story right now, but I will just tell you a few details about it. Thank you, Anna. You're so sweet. I try. I try. My kids know I love them, so that's what matters. And you are too. You're a very amazing woman. Very strong. Stronger than you would know. Anyway, so just a few of the details of my most recent attack. That was I can't even say it was a stupid mistake, but because if not for that incident, I wouldn't have my baby girl. Okay? But I can tell you that I was with someone who I thought I knew, and come to find out, I ended up being drugged every single day I was there. This was in another state. It was in the state of Illinois. And this man, or coward, or jerk, whatever, I could say many things, would not allow me to even change my own son's diapers, and it was just a bad, bad thing. He was very abusive, mentally, emotionally, and physically. So it was just a bad thing all the way around. So anyway, he drugged me. He took my phone. He took my keys to my car. I actually drove to the state to meet him, and to spend time with him and get to know him and stuff. Yes, I know I'm not the smartest, the brightest crayon in the box, shall we say, but we all make mistakes, right? I'm human. We're all human. So yeah, so he took my keys, he took my phone. I had no contact with anybody. I was in a city where I didn't know my way around. I had never been there before. He had five kids that whenever he and I got in a fight, he would leave, and he was also into drugs, and he would go do whatever he did and leave me in charge of his five kids plus my son, with nowhere to go, no way to call 911 if I absolutely had to. So I was held against my will for almost 2 months. Okay. One day we got in a fight, and I won't make this too long with the details of this, but one day we got in a fight and he left, and I told myself, it was actually the morning of our fight, his oldest daughter came in and told me that, she says, well, Crystal, my dad's planning on burying you, right? He's planning on killing you and then burying you alive, or killing you and then burying you. And he's asked me and my brothers and sisters to help him bury you. You know that, right? And I thought she was kidding, but trust me, guys, she was not kidding. So anyway, at that point, when he was awake, we got in a fight and he left. When he left, after what she told me, I knew that I needed to get my act together and find a way to look for my keys and to look for my phone. I went through that apartment up and down. I searched everywhere. I was not giving up until I found some way to get out of there. Yes, I know, Anna. OMG. Believe me, I know. It was a nightmare. So luckily, thank God, I found I found my keys and I found my phone. And I immediately, oh my goodness, you guys, I had so many people. I lost my job during this time. I lost a lot of friends because they thought that I was stupid for going out there, which, yes, I was. They didn't want to talk to me anymore, whatever the case was. I had family that was ticked off at me, you name it. But I managed to call my mom, and I told my mom I was crying and I was in trouble, and she knew from the sound of my voice that it was not good, and she was scared spitless. So after she heard what I told her, that I didn't know when he was coming back, and she says, he's not being good to you, is he? And I said, no, it's worse. And so she said, okay, I'm going to call your dad. Okay, I don't have the best relationship with my dad. We do now, but we don't have a very close relationship. Long story there for another day. Anyway, she contacted my dad, and thankfully, my dad actually at first said, well, I don't know where she's at. We haven't talked. I'm not going to go get her. Sorry. Yeah, that hurt. But then my stepmom started talking with him and said, that's your daughter. Dude, you need to go get your daughter. She might end up dead, and it's on your hands. So that kind of got my dad to thinking, and thankfully he was on the next flight out to St. Louis to come get me. from New Hampshire. Okay, so he left clear from New Hampshire, flew to St. Louis, Missouri, rented a car, and drove to the location that I was at to come get me. So, anyway, that's how that went. But for that whole time, I was drugged every single day. I was not allowed to eat unless given permission. Nobody in the house was. Even his own kids were not allowed to eat until he actually got up for the day. Okay? It was just a very bad situation. So that is the situation that I'm speaking of here that I needed to deal with. I needed to deal with that because when my dad came to get me, we got back to my home state, which is Colorado, and I went right back to being a mom and taking care of my mom and life. Okay, so it was like having a baby and going right back to work the very next day. No time to heal, no time to, whatever. It was painful and it was very, very difficult. But I had to. My mom needed me, my son needed me. So anyway, I needed to deal with that. I needed to forgive him, which a lot of people I know will not forgive, okay? And I have a thing for that too. But that's part of the reason why I took that break, is because I knew that things were coming up and haunting me. Like there was just these little, bad crap just haunting me all around me. Signs telling me that I needed to deal with that, and I knew it. I didn't want to, though, but I knew I needed to, otherwise I wouldn't be able to move forward. Yes, Anna, thank you. I'm very glad my dad came out to get me. Sometimes I question him why, but that's also another story for another day. But I am very thankful he did. Okay, so I needed to work on me. I needed to deal with that incident with him, and I needed to forgive him, which is probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. But I kind of knew that I needed to do it because I've already forgiven the other two, the man who molested me and the one who raped me. I already forgave those two, but this one was the last one that I needed to finally let go of. Okay, so during that time I had a lot of bad days on my 5-month break from social media and Facebook. There were days, guys, where I didn't want to get out of bed. I hated myself. I hated looking in the mirror. Like I mentioned, I was snippy with my kids. I was moody. I was a mess. I was a mess. I felt like giving up. I really did. And for those of you who know me well, especially you, Anna, you know that I'm not a person to quit. Right? So it was hard. So what did I do about it? I did some therapy on my own, and I used methods that I had used and learned when I was 6 years old. Because when I was 6 years old, I actually had to go through counseling and all kinds of stuff, and I'm very thankful for that. But I had to learn different ways to talk to people again, because I was getting to the point where I didn't trust anybody. So I used some methods I learned back in counseling when I was younger, and I started to thank you, Anna, I love you. I started to work on myself using those methods, and I'm so glad that I remembered them and that I paid attention as a kid when I went through all that. Ellie, so sorry, Crystal, this is something nobody should ever deal with. Thank you, Ellie. I appreciate that very much. And you're right. Nobody should ever have to deal with this kind of junk. But this is the kind of thing that happens every single day. There is so much crap going on in this world, and I don't want to digress, but this is why I share my story, is because it might help to reach someone out there who's struggling and thinks that life isn't worth living because of what they've been through. And that is so not true. Life is precious and amazing. So thank you. That means a lot to me. So the break that I took was exactly what I needed. Okay. I realized in myself, I saw it in myself, I saw it in my kids. They were hurting because mommy was hurting. I was hurting my husband by saying, negative things about myself. It was just not good. But the break is what I needed. I needed to do the work. I needed to put in the effort to do the work, to work on Crystal again, to bring Crystal back. Okay, because Crystal was not Crystal at that time. I had a lot of friends from my life, especially including those from my mentor Helen's communities. A lot of her, people I've met in her communities, including her herself, Miss Helen. Thank you. Checking up on me, messaging me, letting me know that they care. Some of them were calling me on the phone. Just making sure I was okay and letting me know that they loved me and they missed me, and that they wanted me to let them know if I needed them, or that they were always there. I also had people from my business team reaching out to me and letting me know that not to give up, that everybody was waiting for me, and they just wanted me to heal and to come back. So honestly, that's really what kept me going. My kids, my husband, my mom, my family, my friends, the people, the wonderful, beautiful people I've met here online. You guys are all who, what kept me going, to keep wanting to move forward, to keep wanting to put in the hard work to bring back the Crystal that you guys know. Okay? So, I did the work. It was painful. It was hard. It was not fun. And in that time, I also lost 4 people that I loved. 4 people within 1 month passed away during my 5-month MIA from Facebook. And I needed to grieve for them, on top of dealing with working on myself. And I'm still sort of grieving for them, because grief, we all deal with grief differently. Okay, so then on top of all of that, it just gets better, guys. Thank you, Anna. I love you guys too very much. Very, very much. On top of all of that, 2 of my husband's vehicles broke down. We are in the process of getting them fixed, working on them. And what do you know? My ex, my kid's dad, had a vehicle that he was trying to sell, so we bought it from him, my ex, which we are actually still very good friends. And he and my husband are also very good friends. So, yeah, weird stuff. But it's a blessing. It's a blessing. Came at the right time, and it just worked out well. Okay, so then things started to turn around. Well, I really got to watch the time here. Things started to turn around, and I started to learn how to improve my business. So I started learning how to, design and create my own website, digital products, which I'm still working on. It's awesome, and I love it. And that's something I was always scared to do before, but I faced the fear and did it anyway, so I'm working on that. I also started writing the book that I've talked about here on live and in my posts as well, which I'm writing a book about my life. And I'm already on chapter 3, so that's pretty exciting. I found it to be very healing, very therapeutic. I do have to relive some of those horrible memories, but I'm not being sucked into them, if that makes any sense. So I'm reliving them to tell my story in my book, but I know that it's in the past, and I've forgiven, and now I can let go and move on. So it's just really therapeutic. Let's see, what else did I have here? Then I started to gradually work myself back onto Facebook, as you guys can see. And I saw that Helen, my mentor, was doing another live video challenge, and I thought, you know what? This is the perfect time to jump on the horse and do more videos, to get on that challenge and get back into the game, right? I love going live. I really, truly do. And I wouldn't be here doing live videos if not for Helen. That's the truth. So I'm glad that I'm back. It's really good to be back. And I needed to. I really did. So, basically what it boils down to, guys, is I needed that time to work on me. And that's something that a lot of us don't take, is personal time for ourselves. Because especially those of us who are parents or caregivers for others, we feel that, we need to take care of them first. Well, what good are we to everybody else if we can't take care of ourselves, if we don't take care of ourselves, right? So that time was a blessing, although it was painful. It was hard, but I got through it, thankfully, for my husband and my kids and all of you guys on here. You guys kept me going, very supportive, very loving, and it just means the world to me. Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much. I'm also very proud of you, so that means a lot to me. So, I do feel like I'm getting back to being Crystal again, the Crystal that I was before all this. And even better than that, I'm starting to learn to love myself more, which is honestly one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life. Thank you, Ellie. It's amazing getting to know you too. Thank you very much. I'm very blessed that our paths have crossed, young lady. And I just, that's my personal story. So what do you guys think? Do you have any questions? I do have a couple of quotes that I want to say before I go. The first one is, if you never heal from what hurt you, then you'll bleed on people who did not cut you. And that is unknown. I do not know who wrote that, but I love that quote. Hello, Julie. How are you, sis? Thank you so much for hopping on. No worries. It's painful, but you can watch it from the replay. Watch the beginning. And then the second quote I have for you is, trauma is a fact of life. It does not, however, have to be a life sentence. That was by Peter A. Levine. Okay, so those are two powerful quotes I just wanted to share with you. Before I go here, guys, I just want to make one more point about forgiveness. And thank you, Anna. I'm glad it makes sense. Yeah, it is a deep quote, Julie. It is, but I love it. A lot of people I know, and I'm sure a lot of people there are a lot of people out there in the world, I'll just put it that way, who have been through some sort of trauma, a traumatic event, an emotional event, some type of abuse, something that was traumatic. We've all been there. We've all done that, unfortunately, but I also believe it's for a reason. Now, where I'm going with this, just really quick here, is that's something that 5-month break taught me. Is that, and I've known this. That's why I didn't want to do it, but I did it anyway. What it taught me was that we need to be able to forgive. Okay, and this is not going a religious direction or anything like that, guys. It's just, if we don't forgive those who hurt us, we will never truly be able to move on in life. And I mean that wholeheartedly. Okay, I say that with love and from experience, because there's things that are going to happen. There's people that are going to hurt us. There's people that we just want to, believe me, I know, I feel it. I've been there many times. I almost, ended my life because of it. But when we forgive, and not only just the people who hurt us, but we forgive ourselves for feeling guilty or responsible or however it was that we felt, then we are truly able to move on. Okay, and I say that from experience and with love, just because I know, guys, that it will tear you down in ways you never thought possible. It will haunt you. it will do things in your life that you never thought, could do. Okay. It's just bad. So try not to hold on to anger and grudges. And, I understand, guys, that sometimes people do us wrong, and, it's okay to be angry, but when you stay there, that's a choice. Okay, and it's just not healthy. Even for your immune system and your body, like holding on to those negative feelings and emotions it's bad news. Okay, so that's really all I wanted to say. I don't want to, go into a big old long spiel here. I've been going long enough. Thank you, Julie, so much. You're a rock star. You are a rock star, my dear, and very inspiring to me as well. So I am going to wrap it up now. Excuse me. If you guys have any questions, if you would like to know, anything else, if you, feel free to ask me. I'm an open book. Obviously, you guys can tell I'm not, scared to share personal information. So if you want to know anything, if there's anything you need, any methods that I use that might have helped, that helped me, if you know someone who might benefit from this, pass it along. Just remember there is a trigger warning. So anyways, I am going to wrap it up, guys. I do thank you so much for being here, for your support. Those of you who are here live with me, I really appreciate you more than you'll ever know. I love you all dearly. Thank you for sharing all this with us. It was good to see you. Thank you so much, Anna, for being here. I love you very much. So you guys, I hope you're okay. I hope that my story, was inspirational to a degree, if that makes any sense. And I do thank you guys for watching. So I hope you all have a fantabulous rest of your day or evening or night or whatever it is for you, wherever you are in the world. I thank you guys once again for being here. You guys rock and you keep me going, so don't ever forget it. Anyway, so stay tuned. Tomorrow is day 5. I will be on my personal profile. So I hope to see you then. Take care. Love you all. Stay safe, be well, and take care. See ya.